What's up guys, Karl Thomas here with another video, and today we're talking DJ money, wages. How much are you going to be earning for your DJ gigs in bars and clubs here in the United Kingdom? Now, of course, we do find ourselves in a bit of a strange situation in that DJs are earning very little, if any, money at the moment. But for the purpose of this video, let's imagine that everything is open, everything is back to normal, bars and clubs are thriving. So this is how much money you can earn as a DJ. First and foremost, before we get into the actual nuts and bolts, there are two caveats to the video. First and foremost, I'm not going to be disclosing exactly how much I get paid night by night. Sorry to disappoint you if you've come here for that. I think that's quite personal, and yeah, I'm not going to be disclosing that on this video. And the second caveat is that this should be seen as a little bit of a guide. So I'm basing the information in this video on my own experiences of working in several different bar and club settings throughout the UK over the years, and it's a question that I get asked a lot by new and beginner DJs. So I'm putting this information together so that if you get offered a gig, if you get offered a DJ set, a night, whatever it is, and maybe a residency, you know, or you have some reassurance to know that you're getting a fair deal for the night, and it's kind of in line with what is average for a DJ gig of that nature. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. All right, so the first thing that you need to know before we actually talk about wages is what goes into determining how much a DJ gets paid. There are going to be several variables in this. First and foremost, where is the bar or club based? Generally speaking, I've always found that venues up north pay slightly less than venues down in the south of the United Kingdom. I guess it's because cost of living up north is slightly cheaper than down south. I'm not sure, but that's definitely a factor. Also, the manager, how good is your relationship with that manager? How much emphasis does that manager place on DJ entertainment? How busy the night is, the size of the venue, are they charging an entry fee, and also the actual night itself. So generally speaking, weekend nights where they're charging more for entry, more for drinks, will pay bigger wages than, say, a weekday gig, which is perhaps aimed more at the student market, and entry is either cheaper or it's free. So there's going to be several factors that come into play when the venue decide how much they want to pay their DJ. Obviously, there are going to be some people that are more generous than others. If the venue is a chain nightclub, for example, they generally have quite a fixed kind of wage structure. If it's a more independent venue, there's going to be a lot more flexibility there. All right, so first and foremost, let's talk about bars or bar clubs and how much you can expect to be paid in one of these types of venues. Now, what I mean by this type of venue is that it's open in the day. They probably serve food in the day. They probably show all the big sporting fixtures on the big screens that they've got around. And then on a Friday, Saturday night, maybe one weeknight as well, they'll clear tables and chairs to make a bit of a dance floor, and then they have a DJ. Often in these places, you will find that if you're working, they may not have a DJ booth. You'll have to set up your own controller and your own CDJs on a table that they provide you, which in my opinion is not the best, but that is how these places are often set up. In terms of money in these types of venues, the window is anywhere between £120 a night on the lower end, right the way up to about £180 on the top end. Now, obviously, there's going to be some venues that are able to pay you a little bit more. Maybe you've got a good relationship with the manager so that you can squeeze a bit more out of them. And on the other end of the scale, there's going to be some venues that absolutely take the piss and offer you like £80 or £100 a night. Now, in my opinion, I would never go for something that low, but that's completely down to you. If you're getting anywhere between the 120 and 180 mark, you are getting in line with what these types of venues pay, and you're pretty much on the money in terms of like what other DJs that are playing in these venues will get as well. All right, so we've covered off bars and bar clubs. Now let's talk about the nightclub. So this is a venue that opens a lot later, maybe 10 till 3, 4, 5, whatever their hours are. The core business of a nightclub is drinking and dancing, so they're going to put a lot more emphasis on DJ entertainment, and it's the DJ's job to keep the dance floor busy all night. Now, in terms of wages for a nightclub. This will vary considerably depending on the capacity, how many rooms the nightclub has, so do they have to pay out for more than one DJ, and that room that you're playing in. Now in terms of money, the window for wages is anywhere between the 150 mark at the lower end right up to the 280, 300 pound mark at the top end. What I would say is the gigs paying the 280, 300 pound mark are becoming rarer and rarer these days. So for the majority of you, if you're getting paid between the 150 to 250 mark for a Saturday night, you're pretty much bang on the money in terms of an industry average. And again, like the bar wages, like I said, there's going to be some managers that want to pay you a little bit more because you've got a good relationship with them. They put a lot of emphasis on DJ entertainment. There are going to be some managers or promoters that try and get away with murder and try and pay you less. But that is pretty much what I would say the average wages are for DJs. The only final thing to mention is a warm-up DJ. Some bars and clubs still have a warm-up DJ. It's fantastic to see that they do have that. It's a great opportunity for people to get into DJing, perhaps if they are a beginner and they're breaking into their first venue. These days, if you're getting paid as a warm-up DJ, anywhere between 30 and 50 pounds for that hour and a half that you're doing pretty well. That is not bad money at all for an hour or 90 minutes work. So there we have it, guys, a very quick overview into how much you can expect to be paid as a nightclub or bar DJ here in the United Kingdom. I'm very much aware that I haven't covered off selling tickets to get slots in clubs and also pay-to-play gigs. I do have very strong opinions about both of these options, and they do exist in our industry, which is a massive shame. And I'm going to make a completely separate video about, you know, should you pay to play? Should you sell tickets to actually get a slot in one of these places? Watch out for that video coming later. If you do like this type of thing, please do consider hitting the subscribe button, smash that like button for me, and I will see you in the next video.